Today's review features a fragrance that I consider a treat. This is an olfactive treat if you're into fresh fragrances, because in my opinion, it's one of the best fragrances ever created. Though I wonder, is it worth the money? We'll discuss as we get into it a little further. But today we're talking about Roja Parfums Elysium Parfum pour Homme. Just stay tuned. So we'll start off and take a quick look at the presentation. As you can see, standard Roja Parfums box does say the name of the fragrance right here. It's part of the Parfum pour Homme series. Roja Dove's signature on both sides. Roja Parfums on the top. Standard stuff all the way around. You do have some more fragrance info on the bottom. It does have that pillow style with this silky, almost satin-like finish to where the bottle does rest in. But all in all, it's nice, but it's not the most special thing in the world. But anyways, and in regards to this bottle, standard fare for the 50 mLs for the Parfum pour Homme line. So you have the name of the fragrance. It is this high polished gold plaque that's on the front. Roja Parfums on the sides. More info on the back. You have fragrance info on the sticker on the bottom. The cap has Roja Dove's signature. Does have the black jewels inset into the cap, though I would not recommend picking this one up. From the cap is a heavy metal of some sort with a gold finish with a plastic fill. Then the atomizer is pressurized. Let's talk about this scent. So when you first open this fragrance up, the initial blast is one of the most pleasing opening blasts I've ever put my nose on. This is, in my honest opinion, one of the best openings ever created in fragrance for men's fragrances. It really is. I can't understand or imagine how somebody wouldn't like the opening of this fragrance. It is masterful. It really is. The opening, absolute best part of the fragrance. I do have it on my hand. Have worn it several times in the last few days. It's kind of an addicting fragrance. If you smelled it before, you understand where I'm coming from. So you're gonna get this citrus medley up top. It's zestier than the Blue Bottle Parfum Cologne, which is kind of the lighter version of this fragrance, and lighter across the board too. Now that I've really gotten to spend time with this, the Parfum Cologne is a lighter, fresher, weaker performing, overall fresher version of this. This has much more density, performs a lot better, which we'll get into in a little bit, and has more of a robust nature to the scent profile. It's thicker while not wearing heavy. It's still a super mega freshie at its core. And once you really start to get into this one, it's more of a citrus peel type of smell. That's why I say zesty. It's got this zesty, fresh, little bit of bite to it up top. Very fruity. A little touch of sweet, fruity sweet, but not a sweet fragrance in any way, shape, or form. It's such an easy to like fragrance, so easygoing. And this is one that I don't think is just strictly for the summer when it comes to fresh fragrances. It's one that you can really enjoy year round if you like a fresh fragrance. This will even work in the cold because it has the performance to really hold strong. And I'm not saying it's gonna cut like a hot knife through butter through the cold weather, but for a fresh fragrance, it definitely has the density and the body of the aroma to really kind of hold its own in freezing temperatures, really, if you like to wear fresh fragrances year round. Because I know there's a lot of people that just freshies are their thing. And this is one of the best fresh scent profiles ever. It does become a bit more fresh green, lightly fresh spicy as it starts to get into its heart. There's a lot of notes here. It's more so picking out accords than it is individual notes, to be completely honest. That's usually the case with these Roja Parfums fragrances for me personally. And it does get a lot more woody. There's a bit more floral tones to it that come out a bit more in, you know, the early dry down more so than the heart. The dry down is mostly a fresh vetiver woody combo after the citruses tend to fade with a light floral touch, but the florals never really become a strong player in this fragrance. It never becomes very floral or even moderately floral. There's just a light flowery touch in the background. It's not even really a specific flower that's distinguishable to my nose personally on my skin. There's just a light little floral, mildly powdery touch hanging out in the background that is detectable for me, but not a strong presence like I said before. It's all about woods and fresh vetiver in the dry down for me. A little bit of a clean musk, if you will, but up top it's just super bright, mega fresh citrus medley, zesty citrus peel, the rind of like orange, lemon, and grapefruit, mostly lemon and grapefruit. If I had to kind of discern a little bit of what I get here, I do get a grapefruit lemon type of combo with maybe a little bit of lime bergamot mixing in with it and a little touch of orange. Like I said, that's why I call it a citrus medley up top. I don't detect a heavy black currant like I do in the Parfum Cologne. I don't even recall that being in the note breakdown specifically. I mean, I don't have it handy or in front of me at the moment, but I don't recall a black currant. I don't get that tart fruitiness up top, that bitterness that black currant can provide. So it's much fresher, but still thicker at the same time with the realistic nature of the citruses that you get up top. Because like I said, the opening here is as good as you'll find, especially when it comes to luxury fragrances. Now, when it comes to performance, this is where it shines for me. For a fresh fragrance, 9-10 hours. Easy every time. So we'll just call it, for a good range, 8 to 10 hours. I can't imagine you're only getting 4 or 5 hours out of this fragrance. I just can't imagine. Now, I understand when people tell me they get that out of the Parfum Cologne version of this fragrance, the blue bottle, I get that. But even then, I still get easy 5 to 7 hours more in that 6 to 7 hour range from the Parfum Cologne. So it's refreshing because this is a much more expensive fragrance, to be honest with you, which we'll touch on here at the end of the video. This is one that is much more dense. It smells more expensive. It smells more luxurious. It smells like you're gonna pay more for this one versus the Parfum Cologne. It's definitely an even more premium touch than its blue bottle counterpart that's much fresher. But the projection, not overwhelming, but present, pronounced, easy to captivate somebody when you walk by them. Because like I said before, especially in the first 2 hours of this fragrance, I can't imagine somebody smelling you and not thinking you smell great with Elysium Parfum on. It's as advertised when it comes to this scent profile, and the performance is there to boot. It's not overwhelming, but it's pronounced and very long lasting. And for me personally, I don't know what more you can ask for. Because of the density of the aroma, it does linger in the air a bit more than the Parfum Cologne because it's a thicker, higher oil concentration. It does linger, and your trail's a bit stronger. The sillage around you is that much more enjoyable. You will be able to smell yourself a bit easier with this one than the Parfum Cologne. So performance, very good and above average across the board. Not a beast in any way, bordering beast mode longevity, but definitely not a beast in projection, more in that average range in projection and with a moderate sillage because it does have a thickness to the smell. Overall, must try, absolutely not a must buy. Why do I say absolutely not a must buy? This retails for $4.99, okay? That's a lot of money. I would think this is only full bottle worthy if you just have that kind of money to just blow on fragrances. Honestly, this is one of those rare instances that even though I think the fragrance is remarkable, this is a remarkable, possibly the best fresh luxury fragrance I've ever smelled or worn or spent time with. It really is that damn good, but it's too expensive. It is, it's too expensive. As much as it pains me to say that, it's too much. I would say go the route of the Parfum Cologne if you're looking for full bottle, because you're gonna spend $200 and some change less for double the fragrance. The scent profile is not drastically different, though there is a lot of differences to the aroma. It's not drastically different, and you're still getting a high quality Roja Parfums fragrance. Like I said, this is only for, as far as I'm concerned, people that have that type of money to spend on fragrances, where you can drop 500 bucks on a 50 ml because it's no big deal for you, and you want the best of the best. And in my opinion, this is the best of the best when it comes to fresh fragrances. It really is. It's that damn good. I would give this a 9.5 overall out of 10 for sure. And those of you that watch me, you know 9.5s from me are my 10s, because I don't give 10s. I don't believe a perfect fragrance exists, and this is not a perfect fragrance, But for a fresh fragrance, as close to it as it gets. It's just the price point is too high. But this is not marketed for everyone. Even though the scent profile is for everyone, it's not marketed for that. This is a luxury, not a necessity. This is not an everyday fragrance for just anybody and everybody unless you're willing to spend the money. And this is a pump your chest out type of fragrance. It really is, because it smells expensive. It really does for being a fresh scent profile. But like I said, this was sent to me by the brand. They did not ask me to review it. It was sent as a gift. I took it upon myself to review it, and you know, gotta be straight up with you guys. I think it's too much. Even though it's absurdly good, I think it's too much. I could not swallow spending $500 on a 50 ml bottle like this. If it was not sent to me for review, I think outside of having a decant of it, I probably wouldn't get it, honestly. Not a big advocate for clones, though I do understand their place. You're not gonna touch the quality of this with a clone. You can get close with the scent profile, you can get the performance. You're not gonna touch the quality of what Roja Dove does with these fragrances. So, like I said, must try. Everybody should experience this. Just like when it comes to Creed Aventus, everybody should experience it just to see what all the talk is about, what all the hype is about. The downside, it's so good that you might be like, damn, how can I get my hands on a bottle of this? And you start trying to figure ways. And look, if you deem it that good, which, like I said before, I deem it that damn good, it's just too high price for most people. And I completely understand that. I do thank Roja Parfums for sending this out to me and giving me the opportunity to spend time with it and review it for you guys. I'm super happy to have it. I'm gonna wear the hell out of this fragrance, especially once we start rolling into spring. But I do believe it's just too high priced and out of range for most, and I understand why. That's why I say it's a must try. Get yourself a decant, experience it. It's an olfactive treat if you enjoy fresh fragrances, because this is one of the best I've ever smelled. Really is. But when it comes to getting a full bottle, it's just too damn expensive. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you have already tried this? Yes, I'm telling you, it's that good. It is that good. It's just too high priced. I can't fathom recommending you guys run out and try to buy this, because I understand it's gonna be not the easiest thing to obtain. It's not that easy to spend $500 on a 50 ml fragrance, especially when it's a freshie. But it's just like, it might be the best freshie I've ever smelled. That's the trade-off. I get why it's 500, but I don't get why it's 500 at the same time, because there is a Parfum Cologne version that is still worthy of the money, in my opinion, because it's half the price of this. But the Parfum Cologne's not as good as the Parfum Pour Homme. The blue bottle is not as good as this one. This is all just my honest opinions. Take everything with a grain of salt. Get yourself a sample or a decant, spend some time with it, and judge the fragrance for yourself and see if it's worthy of spending that kind of money, because in my opinion, it's incredible. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on Elysium Parfum Pour Homme and you give it a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.